Okay, so today we'll be solving questions on mass, weight, and density for CIE IGCSE physics. So let's start. Question 1. Which of the quantities below is a weight an example of? Field strength, acceleration, mass, or force? Well, weight is an example of force. Let's check our answer. Yes, the correct answer is D because weight is defined as a gravitational force on an object with mass. Therefore, weight is a force. Okay, let's go to the next question. Which of the following statements about mass or weight is true? Weight is measured in kilograms. Mass equal to weight times gravitational field strength. Weight is measured in newtons. Mass is a force. Okay, so weight is measured in newtons, not kilograms, so it's not A. Weight is equal to mass times gravitational field strength, so it's not B. Weight is measured in newtons. That is true. Mass is a force. That's not true. It's weight that is a force. So it's C. Let's go to the next question. How is the weight of an object defined? The force of the ground pushing on an object. The measure of the quantity of matter of an object at least to the observer. The mass per unit volume of an object, the gravitational force acting on an object with mass. Okay, so in question one, when you look at the explanation, this is what is said: the gravitational force acting on an object with mass. So it has to be D. Next question, question four. Which row in the table give the correct units for weight and for mass? So mass is measured in kilogram and weight is measured in newtons. So kilogram, newtons, so it's D. Let's move on to the next question. Question 5. Which of the following quantities is measured in kilograms? So, as far as we know, mass is measured in kilograms. So, weight, mass, pressure, or density. So, it's going to be mass B. Next question, question 6. A student is given four objects, a mass balance, and a meter rule. Which of the objects can he determine the density of using only the meter rule and the mass balance? So the density is basically mass over volume. So the volume of aluminium, wood, and plastic could be found, and their mass could also be found by placing them on a balance. So the density of aluminium, wood, and plastic could be found. So aluminium, wood, and plastic. So it's C. Okay, we are done with easy. Today we are only doing easy and medium. We'll do hard in the next video. Okay, so there are how many questions? Okay, 13 questions. Which piece of equipment is used to measure the mass of an object? A burette, a balance, a manometer, and a treadle wheel. So yes, the a balance is used to measure the mass of an object, so it's B. Okay, question one, we can look at the answer here. Correct answer is B. Yes. Next question. Question two. A baker uses a balance to weigh out some ingredients to make bread. She weighs out some white flour, then she weighs out some wholemeal flour. She notices that the reading on the balance is the same for both types of flour. The baker can conclude that the two flours have the same volume, density, weight, or internal energy. Okay, so since both of them have the same mass and the acceleration due to gravity is the same, but and weight is mass times acceleration due to gravity. If the mass is going to be the same and the acceleration due to gravity is also the same, that means the weight will also be the same. So hence for question 2 it's C. Moving on to question 3. The diagram shows a measuring cylinder containing a liquid and that same measuring cylinder when it is empty. So at first it's 100 grams and then when the liquid is inside it's 190 grams. So 190 grams minus 100 grams that gives us 90 grams. So say what is the density of the liquid? Over here we can see that it is 30 I think cm cube. So density is mass over volume. So 90 grams over 30 grams. You can even punch it on your calculator and you get 3 grams per centimeter cube, which is B. Let's move on to the next question. Question 4. A geologist wants to determine the density of the object shown below. What needs to be known in order to calculate its density? The radius of the base of the cone and the weight of the cone, the surface area of the cone of the base of the cone and the height of the cone, the volume of the cone and the mass of the cone, the height of the cone and the mass of the cone. Okay, so we know that density is mass over volume. So we just need to know its mass and its volume, so it will be C. Moving on to the next question. Question 5. Two beams have the same rectangular cross-section, but one is longer than the other. Both beams are made from the same material. Which quantity is the same in both beams? The volume will not be the same because they have different length, breadth, and height. The weight would also not be the same uh, because they have different length and breadth. So when you put them on a balance, their weight will also be different. Since their weight will be different, their mass will also be different. But over here, if you look, they say they are made from the same material. So that means that the density will be the same. So let's go to the next question. Okay, the answer for that question was D, by the way. A student wants to measure the density of a piece of rock. She starts by measuring its mass and then finds that it is 2500 grams. Next, she puts 500 cm cube of water into a large measuring cylinder, then adds the rock. The level in the measuring cylinder rises to 800 centimeter cube. So what you first do is you subtract the 800 centimeter cube from 500 centimeter cube, which will give you 300 centimeter cube, which is our volume, and the mass is already given. So you put down your calculator 2500 all over 300. That gives us 8.33. Okay, so that will be A, 8.33 grams per centimeter cube. Question 7. Some unknown liquid in a beaker has a mass of 200 grams and volume of 230 centimeter cube. The density of water is 1.0 grams per centimeter cube. How does the density of the unknown liquid compare with the density of water? So the density of water is given over here and the density of unknown liquid is to be found. So we all know that density is mass over volume. So when you do 200 all over 230, you get 0.869. There are a lot of numbers after that, but you can ignore that. So first it says its density is greater than the density of water. No, our 0.87 is less than 1. Its density is less than the density of water. Yes, that is true. Its density is the same as the density of water. No. With the information given, it's impossible to tell. No, so it's going to be B. Moving on to question 8. The two diagrams below show its measuring cylinder. In the diagram on the left, measuring cylinder is empty. In the diagram on the right, the measuring cylinder contains a liquid. So basically the same thing applies. 70 minus 20, which is 50 grams. Over there it's 14 centimeter cubed. So it will be 20 over 14. That will give us 1.42. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. That will be 50 grams. Sorry, not 20 grams, it's 50 grams all over 14. That'll give us 3.57. That is B. Yes, sorry for the mistake. Question 9. A lamp of butter has a volume of 350 centimeter cube and a mass of 319 grams. What is the density of the butter? The same formula applies mass over volume. So 319 all over 350. That will be 0.911. Hence it's D. Okay, question 10. A cube of a cube of side length 5 centimeters is placed on the mass balance. What is the density of the cube? So the mass has been given over here. Since volume is length times breadth times height, and all of these are the same in a cube. So that will be 5 cube. And 5 cube is basically 125. So you do 25.6 all over 125, which will give us 0.2048. So that's B over here. Question 11. An astronaut has a mass of 80 kilograms on the moon. The gravitational field strength on the moon is 1.6 newtons per kilogram. What is the weight of the astronaut on the moon? Okay, so basically what you do is mass times acceleration or the gravitational field strength, which is 1.6. So that becomes 128 newtons. That's B. Next question is an astronaut has I think repeated the same question. Oh, let's check. Okay, I think it's the same question. We'll move on if it's the same question. Yes. The density of a block of wood is 2.7 grams per centimeter cube and the mass of 583.3 grams. what is its volume? Okay, so when you look at the formula, mass over volume equals to density. What you can do is mass over its density will give us the volume. So 583.3 all over 2.7. That will be 216.03, and there are a few decimals after that. So basically you get your answer, which is B. Think we are done with all the questions for today. I hope you understood the concept. See you again in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.